Hi everyone. I just want to give a quick update on Blumbotron, which is a leaderboard app that I'm making for your LARP activities, mission running, things like that. And you can use this for Neotropolis. This will work on a laptop or a mini PC or even a Raspberry Pi potentially. So please download this, give it a go, ideally way in advance to Neotropolis so I can fix any bugs, address any issues you may have. So just a quick overcap. What it is basically we have these three main buttons here. This is the games view. We have a players view where you could create new players as they join your activities. Clicking into that, we have a list of what games they're added to, and rosters are pretty much allow and deny lists. So you could add players to allow and deny lists. And rosters essentially is this, where you create your allow and deny lists. So that's pretty much it for the greater overview. For the more in-depth thing that I want to show is the actual leaderboards. So if you hit create new game here, we're going to make a new one, example game. Right now, description's not shown, so we're just going to write hello. That's kind of a placeholder for now. We use all players, but you have the option for all the other rosters you may have. Again, they're just allow and deny lists. Hit let's go. You can see we have a high score table here. I'm going to go ahead and just add the first few players. We're going to just give them some scores here and just go from there. So we'll say 7 for Adam, 5 for Ali, 3 for Andre, Claire will give 11, mine as well. I'm just clicking whatever random things come to mind here. And I'm going to add about 10 players here, just so we know that, give you a good example of how this all kind of sorts out. And again, I'm just kind of like just tossing whatever here. 2 for Hadip. Tammy's going to have 8 points. Rico will have 67. Okay, so now we got a bunch of points in there. I think we got enough people here. So we have a few options here. We say it says high score. We have this edit button here. We do have some configuration options here. So for our high score button, am I still recording? Okay, cool. I'm not used to recording, so my apologies. So we could say top players, for example, and we're going to say number of rows 10, edit, and we should see that updated. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Did that, if I said 5, it was at 5, right? Yeah, okay, so that is working. You can see it's updating the number of players in that little preview screen. So the options that you're probably going to use is these 3 buttons right here. They have different visual options. One is opening up full screen on your screen that you're on. And you can see we just have the top players here. The other option is opening up inside your window. And the one I think most people are going to use is this guy here, which pops it up, and then you can just drag it to another window. So then you can continue updating your players. The other button right here is to add a new window. So you can actually have multiple displays if necessary on different screens and showing different values. So this one we have 5 players. This one we have, I believe 10. So those are the basic things about that. And then like each one, then you could then go in and customize it, change the images. Right now we have the options of highest to lowest. So maybe you want to show like the lowest players, for example. So, and then this configuration is going to grow as the app develops. So there'll be more features added here. One other thing I wanted to show is just styles, media, and layout buttons here. So styles, for example, this applies to both those screens. We could change some colors. So we can go in here and say we want a blue for the background. I'm also just darken it a little bit here. And then say we want the text color to be this lovely copper, or maybe that's an orange. So we have different options here. You can go through and play with them. I'm not going to do them all right now. The one thing I will do is just change the default let's not do Moon House. Default fonts here. And these kind of apply to the different parts of the page. And these are just random fonts. If you have a specific font that you'd like to use, please let me know. I'd be happy to add it into the build. And we'll just hit edit here. And you can see these colors have changed now. We now have a blue. It's kind of centered. The other option we have that I kind of skipped over that's kind of nice is you could change the row color. So we'll just make that just different colors of blue, I think. And this tool picker is probably going to change There we go. As the app develops, right? It's going to get a little bit more nicer. And you can see maybe you don't want to go all the way to the edge here. Maybe you have a different size monitor and you kind of need to adjust it. You could do that in layout here. So we could say we want to add some padding to the top, to the bottom, and maybe even more to the right and left to kind of squish it in. We can do that as well. And then that shows up when you pop it out. You can see now I have a nice clean kind of setup here. And I guess we add 9 players and not 10, but you get the idea. So that's the general layout. We do have some nicer abilities here. You may have seen that I've kind of been skipping over this thing, CSS theme. This is still a little work in progress, and it'll probably be cleaned up as we go along. For example, if I hit Neo Navigator here and hit Edit, it's going to change the visibility to add in like a little background here. And that's going to be cleaned up and changed as these kind of styles get more have more features added to them, because ideally the colors that you pick will then apply to the themes and vice versa. So there's some stuff that still needs to be worked out here, but you get the idea of how much ability you're going to have with this kind of setup. So I want to show 2 examples of that. So if I go to my Cyberpunk theme, this is the other theme. This is Site Terminal, and I added some kind of a nice looking colors here, white with some teal, and then you can see if you're looking closely, the background kind of changes, and it's a little bit more dynamic than just a static build, and it kind of has a CRT effect to it, which is kind of nice. So this one's more or less done. Again, like I said, I'm just going to be adding more as I go along. The other example I wanted to show is the run game. This one has the background image as well as the logo image, and you can see these header images are added. So best runners here, you can see I've added a lot more padding to one side to pop out our logo here, and you can see it says best runners as well, and this one's going from lowest to highest. I'll probably go over some additional features at the end of this video, but you kind of get the idea of how that works. And again, like if you wanted to, you could pop out multiple views. This one's the slowest 5, for example, and you can see that it kind of adjusts. Setting this up is going to probably get changed a little bit. This was the last feature I added. Ideally, these don't get stretched, right? So I'm going to update that so they don't stretch. And there's going to be a little bit more tweaks, more cleanup on the visualizations. But as you can see, you can add different background images, and it looks more cyberpunk. And you can see that the effects there. So that's more or less what I wanted to show. Again, this is available for download for Mac, Windows, and Linux. Some of the features I'm going to be working on immediately is last year I did add some abilities to work with your neoband. And I'm going to be adding more to that as well. Being able to add players by that. Probably going to add in some abilities down here. You can see this is looking kind of empty here, to do different types of points to build out the table besides just one high score row. You could probably set up like an example would be like a KDA system, so kill deaths assists or whatever, with an average. So we're going to be building out more features there, as well as maybe an ability to pop this out as a remote control and maybe run it from a phone, possibly run it from different devices such as maybe the M5 card computer or any other little micro machine that you may be bringing out there with you. Just to give you some toys to play with. I think that's about all I want to cover. I'm probably going to add more to the roadmap. Please, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, I'm going to be trying to post updates monthly for the next few months until Neotropolis. So hope to hear from you. Please reach out. Let me know if there's anything I can do for you guys. Okie dokie. Adios.